Hi everyone, Amy here. Some of you might know me through my Ability Hacker blog and Facebook page, but whether you know me or not, welcome. I'm really happy to have you here with me. Today, I'm sharing one of the books from my all-time favorite book series for kids, and also one of my favorite authors. I'm sharing with you a book called Can I Play Too? And it's part of the Elephant and Piggy series by Willems. And it's this really beautiful story of perseverance, of the resiliency to never give up, and about that it's a really great thing to welcome everyone into your circle of friends, regardless of whether they're the same as you or whether they're different. And it's one of those books that just touches me, and I think it has a fantastic message, but it's a book that anybody and everybody can enjoy. And I have to admit that the very first time I read this book to my kids, it made me a little bit emotional. And it was because it handles the concept of inclusive play in such an eloquent and simple way. When you think about a playground, it's where kids learn to interact with each other. It's where they build friendships. And it's where they probably first learn to start resolving conflict with each other. For a kid with disabilities, it's also a place that exacerbates all of the challenges that they already have. Just the simple fact of having mulch on the ground of a playground can be the difference between them being able to be included in play and not. And it's usually left to the child who has the disability to figure out, how do I adapt and how do I include myself in play with others? And if you think about that, that's a really tall order for a kid. It's a really tall order for anyone. What I think is so fantastic about the story Can I Play Too is how Elephant and Piggy are themselves the ones that are just determined to figure out how to play with their new friend. They're not expecting him to figure it out. They are really trying to figure out how to make this happen. And if you're not familiar with the Elephant and Piggy books, the elephant's name is Gerald, and he tends to be more the serious and contemplative type. And then Piggy is this more excited and gregarious character who just is always very kind of like bouncy and happy and loud. In this particular book, they also meet a new friend, and that new friend happens to be a snake. And Snake sees Piggy and Gerald playing catch and comes over and asks if he can play too. And the request from the snake causes some hesitation in Piggy and Gerald, and it's not because they don't want to play with the snake, but it's because they can't figure out how to play catch with a snake. Because how do you play catch with someone who doesn't have arms? Like, how is he gonna catch the ball? And at first they try playing catch the more typical way. So they take the ball and they throw it, and then, of course, as expected, the snake can't catch the ball, so it just like bonks the poor snake on the head. And then they say, well, maybe we need more balls. And so then they take all kinds of balls, and then they throw them over at the snake, and then the snake's like getting hit by all these balls. And eventually they realize that just throwing more balls at the situation is not going to solve it. And right at the point when the snake is about to completely give up on the whole thing, he's like, we've tried, it's not going to work. Piggy, who was just like obstinately proclaims, she was like, no, you are our friend. We will figure out how to play together. And then right at that moment, there's this spark of an idea. It's like a light bulb goes off in Piggy's head, and she all of a sudden figures out how they can play catch together. And at the end of the book, the three of them are playing catch together in an inventive new way. And what a great way of sharing the importance of creative problem solving with kids. Like, look, they had to work at it. They had to keep trying. They had to come up with different solutions. That's a really good skill for us to build in kids. And it also teaches resiliency. Like, they tried and tried again. They didn't give up, even when it was hard, even when they didn't think that they were going to figure it out. They kept going and they kept trying. And then it's also talking about welcoming people who are different from you into your circle of friends. I mean, to me, that's just a beautiful, beautiful message. I just love this book. But there's other things that are fun about it as well. And I want to share those with you too, because this series of books, and this book especially, is just one that is so much fun for us to read together as a family. Everybody participates when we read this book. My daughter, who is 6, she's an emerging reader, and the words are simple enough that she can read it herself. Let me show you one of the pages. So the way the book is structured is you have pictures of the characters, and they're all very descriptive, simple illustrations, but they tell a story almost just in the way that the character is drawn and the situation that the page is showing. But then each character has a text bubble. And so when we're reading this book, my daughter will be like, I want to be Piggy, because she loves being Piggy. But then the words that Piggy's saying are simple enough that she, as an emerging reader, can absolutely read it completely on her own. And my son, who's a couple years younger, he's only 4, he's not reading yet, but he also likes to participate. And in this particular book, he loves to be the snake. And so what we'll do with him is we'll whisper the words in his ear. We'll be like, okay, can I play too? And he'll be like, can I play too? And then he'll look at the characters and he'll act out what he sees on the screen while he repeats the line that we just told him. And so everybody's involved and everybody's having a great time. It just makes it so fun to do together. And so I encourage you to go out and get this book and read it and try it out. And if you like this video, please subscribe to my Ability Hacker channel. Thanks very much. Have a great one.